All right, we're back. The Foundry, episode 6. Moving right along here. I'm right along here. I am pretty excited about this one. And the theme of this one is the 4-year approach that we're taking. And I think this is going to be very interesting to parents out there. I'm certainly invigorated by it. And the 4-year progression. So let's just say what those are first of all. So basically, we have created a theme for each year of our high school experience for the kids. And those are, first year is service, second year is entrepreneurship, the third year is invention and technology, and the fourth is citizenship. And we're going to jump into those in general. I'm going to let you elaborate on each one of those, Christy.
Okay.
But I think, first of all, I just want to back up a step and talk about why we've done this. And so I think the reason that we've done this is when we sat down and talked about project-based learning and talked about all of these things, these themes that we want to incorporate into the high school experience, we started researching, talking to other people, visited some other schools and so forth. And I think what we saw out there is that in a lot of cases you see these projects and the kids showing them and so forth, and you see them and they're a little bit, I don't know, for lack of a better word, scattered. Something they worked on for a little bit, maybe for a week or two, or even a month or a semester or whatever. But it showed. And
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen
There wasn't a whole lot of relevance
Yeah.
or real world application. I
Real
was
world.
really disappointed in that. It was just something they decided to work on and did, and then put it out there for exhibition.
Exactly. And as you and I both know, in the real world projects are big. They have big scopes. They're very collaborative. People work together. They take time to
Require creativity.
You have to immerse yourself in them to get them done. These are the way real world projects work. And so that is the reason that we have broken down each year into these themes so that students can immerse themselves completely and properly in each one of these as they progress through the Foundry years.
Absolutely. And create a foundation for future life.
Absolutely. Cool. So just wanted to, talk a little bit about why we've done this. I really think it's a great approach. And now let's just jump into each one of them so we can talk about the progression that the students will go through.
Okay.
So the first year, freshman year, is service.
Yes. Service is the basis of everything that we do. Learning is not considered a selfish pursuit that we just do for ourselves and we leave it behind. It's something that we're using for the rest of our lives to make the world a better place. So often in schools, we're constantly telling kids, no, you can't do that. This is the only way that you can do things. And yet we all know that there's lots of ways to solve a problem. But what we're doing when we have multiple choice tests is we're building this huge wall that says, okay, if I don't get the only way, then what purpose is there in even trying?
Right.
So there's not just one way to do things. My way is not the only way. And by doing that, we're killing curiosity.
You sure about that? Your way isn't? Okay. I'm writing that down.
Don't tell my kids I said
All right,
that.
all right.
But we kill curiosity, we kill creativity. In service is really the beginning of relighting that flame.
Right.
So we'll be working initially with Habitat for Humanity. Throughout each one of these things, we're working with experts in their fields because they're wonderful at what they do. They have a program in which we will be paired with a soldier who has come home from war and maybe in a wheelchair, and his home is no longer accessible to him. So the students will have the opportunity to interview this individual to determine what his needs are. They'll be learning CAD to actually build a model of a wheelchair ramp or to widen the door frames or to work in teams in order to achieve these different things. They'll be presenting their ideas and then they'll actually be doing it, actually doing something relevant. So they're learning how to use these tools. They're learning how to build something. They're empowering themselves to be able to make the world a better place for one person. And that's all help in because of our partnership with Creative Fuel that is going to give us those types of access. We're also working with the Georgia Environmental Protection Division to monitor streams for biological pollutants. We're working with the Georgia Forestry Service to help address the issue of lost hikers. And in doing that, we'll be building drones and programming those to that have heat-seeking technology to find those hikers out in the woods. And each project integrates the lessons from their core classes as they learn to research, to write, to program, to present, to measure, to perform calculations, apply biological principles in a relevant real-life setting.
Cool. All right, and moving on, and just a real quick point on all of these is that you don't just do service year and then quit doing service, service learning, right?
No.
It carries on. All of these do
Absolutely.
throughout each one. So moving on.
They build on each other.
Yeah, they build on each other, right? It just doesn't go away. It's not like, oh, we're just doing the service today and we'll be done, next week. All right, so the second year is the entrepreneurship.
This one I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So this year, our students will be starting year 1 of 3 of modern languages. They'll be paired with a class in a country that speaks the language that they're learning. So they'll be Skyping and trying to really immerse themselves in that language. But they're also going to be creating an import-export company with that class. This is a real business now. It's not just selling a jar of shrimp on the side. We've seen that as a project, is why I say that. The students will be doing market studies. They're making a business plan. They're going to find investors and develop consumers and handle the accounting that's necessary. Entrepreneurship is a crucial part of our capitalistic society. And many an economist has really predicted that a third economic wave in which entrepreneurs use technology to revolutionary world sectors and transform the way we live is coming. And what we're trying to do is prepare the kids for those times. So the Foundry empowers students by developing that entrepreneurial spirit and teaching students how to use technology and change the world so that they can survive and thrive in the future.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm really excited about this part of everything. And again, those students that really dig into and really find a calling in entrepreneurship will have the opportunity to continue that throughout their high school. Throughout their high school experience.
Entrepreneurship is a really overwhelming, huge topic.
Sure.
But if you've had an opportunity to actually do it, that you've worked with a small business administration, that you know the steps that are necessary for this to happen, you're going to be ahead of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other part about the entrepreneurial thing that I really like is, we talk about having expert speakers. We talk about community involvement. People entrepreneurs that have been successful.
Yes.
And failed. So they can see what not to do.
Well,
I can speak to
both
that.
are important.
Yeah.
But we have gotten dozens of people who are entrepreneurs who are really excited about what we're doing and are lined up to try to help these kids.
Cool. All right, moving along. Year 3, Invention and Technology.
So at this point, the kids would have had 2 years of makerspace usage. So they're pretty adept at using all of these tools. So this theme, this year's theme of invention and technology, will see our students having been trained to look at the world around them and identify problems and see them as opportunities. Opportunities that they can meet. And so during this year, we're going to be putting the kids in touch with other inventors. They're going to choose partners within the school, and they're actually going to invent. They're going to actually create something to meet the need. They're going to learn about patents and have the opportunity to actually patent their ideas, and then potentially bring it to market. They have entrepreneurship experience, so why not? So we're really excited about this one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. All right, and the last year to wrap it up, and I think this is a great way to wrap it up, and that's the citizenship year, the final year of high school.
Absolutely. Citizenship, the kids are going to be using, making apps. They're going to be using high-level statistics and Excel as they work on a democracy project in which they're following a particular campaign race and projecting who is going to win that particular race. They'll work in campaigns, they'll work with elected representatives, and they'll really come to understand what it takes to make a democracy work.
Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. That's faster than I thought it was going to be.
I can do it.
You're getting there. Cool. Awesome. I know you could probably speak on these things for a couple of hours
Absolutely.
if you want, but I think we gave them a great idea of what's really going on. So cool. All right. Well, that is the end of the podcast, and we'll check everybody on the next one.
See you later.
Thanks.